It's been a long time since I did this, wow. Hey guys, this is Karis and today I am going to tell you about my TBR for the Reading Rush 2019. I'm back making a couple more videos like I always do this time of year because it is BookTubeAthon time. However, this year it is not called the BookTubeAthon, it has been rebranded, it's called the Reading Rush. So you may be surprised to see my face again. I do not make videos very often at all. I think the last time I made any like sit down book videos was BookTubeAthon last year. So it is now only 3 days. Jeez, it's only 3 days until Reading Rush begins. I left this a bit late. But I'm going to tell you about my TBR, to be read pile, show you the books I'm going to read. I've had a bit of a change of priority this year. So in the past, my goal with BookTubeAthon was to read 7 books in a week because that was like sort of the main challenge of it, that's what everyone tried to do. And last year I managed to read 8 books. I finally succeeded. However, I do not feel like I can tell people that I read 8 books in a week because 2 of them were only like 50 pages long and one was a graphic novel and one was just like really short. So I've decided this year, now that I have technically achieved the goal of reading 7 books in a week, I want to focus more on like reading actual full-length books, you know, powering through my TBR, like my actual TBR, instead of like buying new books, especially for BookTubeAthon. So my TBR is only 5 books long this time, but they are all like reasonably sized normal books, and I didn't buy any especially, so my reading goals have changed a bit this year. I'm not even going to be mad if I don't read all 5. I just want to like read a lot more than normal, make a big dent in my TBR and have fun. Also this year they got rid of the read 7 books in a week challenge. It's like they could read my mind. Oh, by the way, do you like my new bookshelf arrangement? I'm very proud of it. I will maybe like insert a clip here of the whole bookshelf, maybe a little tour. Okay, really quick bookshelf tour. This is my DVD and Switch games shelf. This is my paperbacks that didn't really go anywhere else shelf. Yeah, this is my beautiful rainbow shelf with bunting, I love it. This is my fantasy and favourite books shelf. This is my hardback shelf with all my big pretty hardbacks. This is my children's books shelf. There's loads of piles of children's books in there, and my big like fancy Harry Potter hardbacks and stuff, and then this is like random, really random stuff shelf and my theatre programmes, and this is them when my room is dark and you can see the lights. It's so pretty, I love it a lot. I am very proud of my bookshelves, I love them a lot. These are like the bookshelves I've always dreamed of having, basically. Right, so I will go through the reading challenges. Why am I talking like this? So reading challenge number 1 is to read a book with purple on the cover, and for that I'm going to read The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston. This has, her dress is purple and her trousers are purple, and if you take the dust jacket off, the entire book is purple. It is beautiful, I really like this. This is the sequel to Geekerella, which I absolutely loved when I read it for BookTubeAthon a couple of years ago, and I just reread it. It was so good, so much fun. I picked this one up at BookCon in New York. Heck yeah, I went to BookCon, and I got it signed. I got it signed by Ashley Poston. This is going to be my book with purple on the cover. I'm very much looking forward to reading this. It was such a fun day of BookTubeAthon 2 years ago when I read Geekerella. It was like, it's quite short, and so was Geekerella, so I like really flew through it. The second challenge is to read a book in the same spot the whole time. There's another book on my TBR for the week that would probably be a much better pick for this, but I'm just, you know, I'm living on the edge, and my pick is Eve of Man by Giovanna and Tom Fletcher, which is very long, so I don't know why. I do not know why. Basically, it didn't fit any of the other challenges, so I was like, fine, I'll put it for this one. I don't think I can read this in the same spot the whole time because I normally do my reading a mix of in my bed and on the sofa downstairs, like depending on the time of day. I don't think I can read this all in my bed or on the sofa. So this one might not, you know, I might end up using a different one for this challenge, but anyway, I was recently gifted this by one of my friends because she didn't want it. It's a signed copy. That's a running theme with my BookTubeAthon books. Reading Rush books. It's signed by Giovanna and Tom. I think it should be addictive and easy to read quickly, I hope. I am concerned about this, I'm not gonna lie, it's very long, but it was kind of just like, yeah, it's on my TBR, I feel like reading that, let's go for it. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Challenge number 3 is to read a book you meant to read last year. This was a very easy choice for me. There was a book I bought last year, meant to read it, didn't get around to it, then I went abroad for 5 months and came back, and now I'm like, still haven't read that book. So for this challenge I'm going to read And the Ocean Was Our Sky by Patrick Ness, illustrated by Rovina Kai. This is a book I got at a book signing, so yet again my book is signed. How exciting. I love Patrick Ness, he is absolutely one of my favourite authors. I just reread More Than This, which was amazing again. So I'm really excited to read this one. It's really short and it's illustrated, so I don't know why I didn't find the time for it last year. I was pretty busy preparing to go to America and all that. This is a nice, short, easy readathon one, finally. The 4th challenge is to read an author's first book. This could be either like your favourite author, go back and read their first book, or like read a debut book. I've gone for a debut, and I'm going to read, it's a bit random. This one's really, really random. You could probably never guess what's coming. I'm going to read Every Tool's a Hammer by Adam Savage. It's Adam Savage's chronicle of his life as a maker. It's like biography slash inspirational book. I don't read this kind of thing, like, ever. But I met Adam Savage at BookCon. I used to watch Mythbusters as a kid, so when I found out he was coming to BookCon, I was like, I have to go, I have to meet him. This book is kind of technically signed. It was supposed to be signed, but they ran out of books at the event, so he signed a Strand bookmark for me, and then I bought the book myself, and now the bookmark just lives in there. It's not that long, so it shouldn't take too long. Then again, it's non-fiction, so again, I don't really know how this is going to go. I think on my like day-by-day schedule that I've made, I'm giving myself like 3 days to read this, like reading it a bit each day, because I don't think it's a book I could read like all in one sitting. But I am looking forward to it, and I really want to get back into doing creative stuff like writing. This is technically about like building, but I think I heard that the advice can be applied to any like creative pursuit, so maybe it will inspire me for that. Challenge number 5 is to read a book with a non-human main character, and for that I'm going to read And the Ocean Was Our Sky by Patrick Ness. This is about a whale, so it's very much a non-human main character. There are humans in it too, but the main character is a whale called Bathsheba because it's a retelling of Moby Dick from the whale's point of view. I know a lot of people have been struggling with this challenge. For me, it's not a problem. I like fantasy a lot. A lot of fantasy main characters are like fairies, and I don't have any fairy books. Why did I say that? Anyway, I have a lot of books with non-human main characters, I think. And this is just the perfect one. Like, I'm not even being like, oh well, technically they're a witch, so they're not a human. Like, this is a whale. The 6th challenge is to read a book with over 5 words in the title. So I'm going to read And the Ocean Was Our Sky by Patrick Ness. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words in the title. It's my only pick that has over 5 words, so it's the only one I could go with. This is also the one that I will probably read in the same spot the whole time because it's so short. So this may be fulfilling 4 out of my 7 challenges. And the final challenge is to read and watch a book to movie adaptation. This was a challenge last year as well. I read and watched Fahrenheit 451. This year, this was a struggle for me because none of the books on my TBR, like my entire TBR right now, not a single one has a book or TV adaptation. Except for Lord of the Rings, and I am not reading a Lord of the Rings book for Reading Rush. What I did was I looked at my list of movies I want to watch and chose a book of a movie. Although I can't be bothered to read a Lord of the Rings book for Reading Rush, I do want to watch the Lord of the Rings movies and the Hobbit movies this summer. I decided I will read The Hobbit by JRR Tolkien. I've read this many times already, and I don't really feel the desire to read it again soon, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It's fun, I'm gonna enjoy it, and then I will watch just the first Hobbit movie. This is kind of a random pick for me, just just because I want to finish all the challenges, right? Like, I know I don't have to, but I want to. If I ended up really not having the time for it, another movie on my movies to be watched list is A Monster Calls, so I could read A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. However, I have already read that twice, and again, I don't feel the need to read it again, but it's much shorter, so we'll see what happens. But this is what I'm really planning to read. That is my entire TBR for the week. Let me show you. It's really heavy because they're all like big hardbacks, which is crazy. I'm a paperback person. Like, I love hardbacks, but paperbacks are cheaper and easier to carry around, so I usually get paperbacks. However, my entire TBR has ended up being hardbacks, and 4 out of 5 of them are signed, which is pretty exciting. Like I said, I might not read all 5. I could complete all the challenges with just 4 of them if I missed out Eve of Man, so you know, we're gonna see what happens, right? I didn't compile this TBR until yesterday. I've been like playing around with it for weeks. I couldn't decide what I wanted to read. It just kind of crept up on me. It's suddenly 3 days away and I'm like so not prepared. But I am really enjoying reading at the moment in a way that I haven't for a while, so it should be good. I will be documenting my reading rush week, not on YouTube. I always say I'm gonna try. Never happens, so I'm gonna tell you now, it won't be on YouTube. I will make a wrap-up video afterwards. If you want to like actually see like updates from me throughout the week, you can follow me on Twitter at the Lime Giraffe. There we go. I made a Bookstagram account on Instagram last year, used it for a few weeks, and then haven't used it since October, so I'm like, maybe I should revive that for Reading Rush. That's what I'm gonna do. You can follow me on Instagram at Karis Reads Books. I will try and post on my story regularly. I'm sure I'll be taking part in the Instagram challenges. Stay subscribed, or subscribe if you haven't already. I barely ever make videos, but I actually do have a couple of ideas. For example, I want to make a video about my signed book collection because clearly I have a few, and I might make a BookCon video, tell you about my experience at BookCon. Oh, and my experience with Christine. I met Christine 3 times. Me and my brother have a gaming channel. You might know, you might not know. It's called The Squidlings. We are also terrible at uploading regularly, but they're really fun videos. I'm just rambling, I'm plugging everything, I'm sorry. Enjoy Reading Rush, even if you're not taking part. Maybe try and read a little bit more than you normally do, you know? Instead of getting your phone out and scrolling through the Instagram Explore page for hours, why not open your book? Why not read a book? Let me know down below if you've read any of these books, and also let me know what your TBR is for Reading Rush. Also, there's a website. Can you follow people on the website? I will leave a link to my profile on the Reading Rush website because I think you might be able to add friends. Have a good week. See you later. Goodbye! I never do this, why am I doing this? Goodbye!